Marshmallow Fanboy back with another review, this time of Star Wars The Vintage Collection's New Republic E-Wing KE4-N4 and Lieutenant Callahan, all in the 3 3/4 format from the show Star Wars Ahsoka. They were there in the very first episode. I think Sabine is kind of running and she encounters them and goes right underneath the E-Wing and keeps going. It's in I think it was in the trailer. The KE4-N4 droid is unique because that head sculpt there is identical to the original R2-D2. When the R2-D2 came out in 1977, I don't know what they did with the sculpt or whatever. It wasn't great, but the head looked like that and was supposed to be R2-D2. And so I've been really wanting this figure for a while. The whole thing was on sale on Amazon, and I thought, yeah, it's probably time to get it before it's gone forever. And I looked up who the pilot was, and it was Lieutenant Callahan, who has a KE4-N4. Says a New Republic E-Wing pilot, Lieutenant Callahan and her droid KE4-N4, aid Governor Ryder on the world of Lothal. So it's a cool figure. It's a nice blue X-Wing. It's got the helmet. She's got the visor down here, and it looks like there's kind of a green face mask here. So I'm not really sure that's the way that it's supposed to be or not, but we are going to see. That is very cool. It's Vintage Collection 351. I'm not sure what the number is in here, and of course you're not going to be able to see the whole thing. It just sort of, the front and the back are the same, which is cool. No matter what way you put it up on the shelf, it's the same either way. So it's a couple different things on the sides. On the bottom, just sort of another shot. Yeah, and on the top, just another shot. I'm not even sure if this is the way that it started. No, it didn't start that way. Now we're that way. Okay, now we're back to normal. But the E-Wing is a relatively new creation. I don't remember it. It wasn't in the original, or it wasn't in the original trilogy, I should say. It wasn't something that I had any experience with going in, so it's all new to me. But it is a really cool ship. And like I said, I had to add KE4-N4 to the collection because of that really unique head sculpt. So why don't they look great in the package. Of course, you can't see anything in this package, which is fine, but let's break them out and see what we think of them in person. Before I open everything, I wanted to make sure that you saw KE4-N4 in package. Looks like a really cool droid with a really unique paint scheme, sort of a yellow gray, and of course that, I think it's the ring. It's got to be. It's the ring light. It looked like the eye was sort of had more detail, but it's reflecting the ring light. It was very cool. The face of it looks just like that 1977 R2-D2. Very cool, and a nice. I think that's the trailer image there, and it's a nice touch that they put it in unpunched. I like that when you get a Star Wars playset or something and they include a figure. It's usually unpunched, and that's nice because the unpunched ones, if you get like vintage toys, unpunched ones are more valuable because they were never on a peg. KE4-N4. That is Vintage Collection number 341, and that is what he looks like inside the package. And it's he's pretty much sort of stabilized in the package so that he doesn't get crushed or anything. So chances are, if you've got one, it's in as good a condition as this one. This is in very good condition. No rips or tears or anything. It's really nice. Now that they're out of the package, let's take a closer look at KE4-N4 and Lieutenant Callahan. First, I'm trying to get this all in camera. I'm not going to be able to, but I'll do the best I can. Flip the E-wing over and let you see some stuff. I left it with the cockpit open and the landing gear deployed. It comes with instructions which take you through putting it together. It only comes in 5 separate pieces. They're real easy to put on, and they didn't snap really hard. So I think that they'd probably be easy to get off if you needed them off for some reason. Maybe you wanted to weather it up or something like that. Cockpit slides forward. That's the landing gear deploying. That's how KE4-N4 gets in. And let's see, that is... I'm not sure what that panel... Oh, it goes right back over him. So you take it off, and then he gets in, and then... Well, we'll check that out. But first, KE4-N4. Very cool out of the package. Just a really sharp looking figure. Love the... I don't think the wheel goes back in, which is a bummer. Because if you wanted him just sort of standing or whatever, you couldn't do it. And that's why the panel has to move, because he has to sit down in there. You know, maybe he sits down in there like this, but that piece is still kind of a Well, does that come off? Oh, it comes off. That's right. The smaller ones have that. I'm thinking about the bigger ones where you can push them in and then you have to poke them out. I've forgotten how 3 3/4 figures work. To be fair, as soon as I took Lieutenant Callahan out, I thought, oh my gosh, I used to collect 3 3/4 figures. They're so unsubstantial and very, very weird to handle now. But that's cool. It's definitely an R2 body with that original sculpt right on there. I think they've made some alterations to it, made it a little more streamlined and things, but my God, how good was that original figure? If you are older and weren't around when it first came out, you're like, no, the one that comes out now is far superior. And you're right. You're right. But if you were there in 1977, you did not care what it looked like. It was R2-D2 to you. That is KE4-N4 for Lieutenant Callahan. It comes with the pistol that Han Solo has. I'm not sure what that's called. It could be that she's Corellian as well. The most impressive thing, and I get that you're not going to think that this is impressive, but the finger goes through the trigger guard, which is really cool. Especially the female figures, it seems like the finger doesn't go into the trigger guard. There's no place to put the weapon. I'm going to put it down. There's no holster or anything, which kind of makes sense, right? She's a pilot. It's not going to be, something that's super important. The helmet comes right off. In the package, it looked like this helmet, the green and the back of it looked like sort of a mask between the chin strap and the goggles. But once I got out of the package and had it on, I thought, oh my gosh, that's very cool. And the designs are really nice on the sides of the helmet, and the front is really nice. Of course, the other side is great. And let me see if I can flip this over without dropping it. The Republic logos on the front. The only thing I can call it is kind of a hazard stripe. The yellow field with the black stripe. Well, they're blue stripes. They look really good. It looks good with the E-wing because of the blue and everything. It clashes completely with KE4-N4, which is completely fine. He's his own droid. He has his own color scheme. Haha. As for Lieutenant Callahan, see if I can get that a little bit in focus. A little bit better. It's a very cool sort of gear on the chest. It's a very nice kind of early X-Wing fighter uniform. Not a whole lot of difference between this and an X-Wing fighter uniform. Maybe this is just a little bit smaller and looks a little bit more antique than it, but it's a good I don't know if it's a good I'm gonna call that a good likeness. But the hair is kind of intricate. It has the sort of um the braids on the top, which are really nice. They cross over and they form like a bun on the back. That's very cool, and it's easy to stand up. It's easy to now it's not going to stand up for me, but it's easy to stand up, and she goes right into the cockpit. Just kind of see bend her and shoo, put her right down into the cockpit. Bend her arms a little bit, and then bingo, she's in. Oh, she doesn't have her helmet, so that's a party foul on my behalf, or on my part. And the helmet won't go on with her in there, so I'm going to leave the helmet off. But she goes right in there. As far as KE4-N4, look at that. I'm gaining some fluency with the name because I keep using it. Let's see. I'll take her out, and her legs don't seem to bend straight ahead of her. Oh, I guess they do. Okay, good. Yeah, they do. That would have been helpful. I kind of crammed her in without doing that. Let's see. I could have crossed the arms a little bit so that the arms were out of the way, and I did not. Where's the hinge on this one? There we go. And yeah, I could have done that. She probably goes in a lot easier. Yeah, she goes in a lot easier. It's fine. I see. There's kind of a hinge by the hip. So if you turn that in, and then you twist the calf, it's facing a way that sort of doesn't allow you to. So you have to aim that hinge in the correct direction. I'm sure that's common sense to anybody who's already collecting vintage collection. I'm sure there's a lot of, yeah, no kidding. we already know that. That's how we're getting them on our shelves and posing them out in karate kicks and things. I don't think anybody is doing that, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is some fighting on people's shelves. The E-wing itself, let me slide the cockpit back. It slides forward and back to, you have to press it a little bit to lock it. And then of course slide it back forward to get the pilot back in. But on the bottom you see there's landing gear. And you can put the landing gear back in, and there are double doors on all the landing gear. So if you want to put this landing gear back, you can't really see that. Let's see. If you want to put this landing gear back, it's just a fold in, and that is pretty straightforward. I won't demonstrate it mostly because I still need the landing gear out to so that I can stand it up. For the compartment that KE4-N4 goes into, I think it's just a matter of getting this part off. It pulls right off. Then there's a little compartment for whatever you want, and then you can drop KE4 or KE4-N4 in, and you can put this back. I think it goes right over his shoulders and locks him in. That's nice. And let's see. Oh, I see. You hook this in first, and then you drop the whole thing down. That's very nice. That makes it look very, it turns it into a situation where you could take a fully functioning, like R2 unit or anything else, and you could drop it down in there and just lock it in, and that's nice. The extra compartment is probably for weapons, or, if somebody's playing with it, they can put different stuff back here, lightsabers and things, depending on who you've got flying it. And that's really cool. I know what you are thinking. You're thinking the same thing I am. It would have been cool to have a button back here, a little light up effect, just blasting stuff. That would have been cool. There's some detail on the ship. I like the blasters here on the back for firing backwards. That's very cool. They don't move. They don't move. they're still cool. The underwing blasters you put on, they only go on one way because there's sort of a tab that kind of goes this way and a tab that goes that way. So you're limited you're limited to how you can mount it. You can only mount it one way. The thrusters have a little bit of I don't know what that is, but it suggests that the heat is here and it's burned there. It's kind of the only detail on it that makes you think that this thing's been kind of lived in. Is that it's sort of like a muffler, kind of a, fire comes out of here and this gets really dirty, but the rest of it is very, very, very clean. And I would say annoyingly clean. I would say that there's probably more than a few of you who are resorting to weathering the hell out of this thing. This is very cool, but it has a lot of really great details, not just like sort of the labeling, which I don't think these are labels. I think these are printed on, and they're really nice. I'm glad I didn't have to put any stickers on. That was a nice touch. But all the electronics and things are cool on the side, all the details. But it would have been really nice to have a little bit of paint on some of them just to bring out that detail. Because otherwise it's sort of plain. The windows are all there. They look very, very, very clear. So it was hard to tell if they were there or not. But yeah, that is really cool. And that is the New Republic E-Wing with KE4-N4 and Lieutenant Callahan. I had a blast opening it's been a while since I've opened a Star Wars vehicle. And it probably will be a while before I open another one. But I had to have the KE4-N4. He kind of goes into the R2-D2 collection. The rest of them are just really cool. I really love the color scheme on Lieutenant Callahan. I love the color scheme on the E-Wing. The E-Wing has a lot of possibilities if you want to weather it, and I've never weathered anything in my life, so I don't see starting with the with the $100 toy as the option here. But it's really cool. It's really well thought out. They've come a long way from the last time that I opened a vehicle, and they deserve a lot of credit for how well this thing is put together, and especially right out of the package, it's mostly already assembled. They only make you stick on the things that would sort of fall off during shipping or could get broken during shipping. So they only gave you 5 pieces to put together. And Hasbro's been really good with, the G.I. Joe line of only giving you a few things to put together so that it's not kind of overwhelming, and so that most of the job is done for you and you can go right to playing after about 5 minutes. So that is I've already said the New Republic. I'll repeat it. That was the New Republic E-Wing with Lieutenant Callahan and KE4-N4. It's been a while since Ahsoka's been on the air. I don't know if there's going to be another season or not. I'm not sure. I hope there is, because it left on a cliffhanger. But otherwise, it's a very cool addition, and hopefully Lieutenant Callahan will make another appearance somewhere else in the Disney Plus Star Wars universe. But until next time, enjoy your toys.